I don't believe that the United States should intervene everywhere. I think that U.S. intervention should be a careful, thoughtful, methodical consideration. In terms of Iraq, we were there already. I don't think we should have gotten out because it invited Iran into the mix, it invited ISIS, the rise of ISIS, it invited Russia into the mix, and I think the region is far worse off than it was had we not pulled out of Iraq. Again, unilaterally. We left the Iraqis high and dry, as we say in the United States. In terms of Ukraine, I don't think you're going to equate any U.S. involvement in Ukraine with U.S. involvement in Syria. Ukraine, at the post-fall of the Soviet Union, the United States gave Ukraine security guarantees. If they gave up their nuclear weapons, which was their biggest bargaining chip on the international stage, we gave them a guarantee that we would protect them, and then we didn't. Let me start with the UN Security Council. I think that the UN in general has a tendency to be dysfunctional, to take on issues and that they're ill-equipped and unprepared to solve. And they end up fighting amongst themselves, and it ends up with a veto. Once the veto is made, discussion is quashed. I think if we want the UN to be a true arbiter of international security, international conflict, then the UN needs to be revamped to give it the actual power to make binding decisions. We can see in many respects that the UN resolutions don't mean very much. There are UN resolutions regarding Nagorno-Karabakh that were made 25 years ago, and they're ignored by Armenia. And because of the structure of the UN, they have the power to ignore them. I draw a very strong distinction between intervention to prevent bloodshed and just general meddling in the internal governance of another nation. I mean, those are two completely different things. The UN tends to do both. I think it's necessary to prevent wholesale bloodshed of human beings, whoever they are, and I make no distinction there. I don't care who they are. There shouldn't be wholesale bloodshed, and someone should address that, should it happen. But the UN also tends to just meddle in the affairs of other nations. Someone, as we say in the United States, gets a bee in their bonnet and gets upset about someone's election or someone's running of one ministry or one department or another, and I don't think that's something that the UN should get involved with. I think that, people in sovereign nations and those who govern them should be able to do what they want.